Well, thank you. Hopefully you stayed with us, or you're at least hovering around your computer. I believe I just finished saying computers are great when they work right. Apparently I shouldn't say that on live because shortly after I said that, you couldn't hear me. Ricky's computer decided that it would freeze in the middle of working, and hopefully we have it set and we're back on track. If you're on YouTube, would you give a thumbs up emoji if you can hear me? And if you're on Facebook, give me a thumbs up emoji that you can hear me so that Ricky can see that we're back in business. Well, she worked miracles. You may have noticed, if you saw the first couple minutes, I changed vases because I realized that by the time I was done, I would absolutely be out of frame and Ricky would be throwing me death glances from behind the computer. So, in the magic world of television, I now have just a classic vase. And honestly, I think I'm gonna like this better. It really does have a more traditional Mother's Day feel to it, if you will. Not that what I'm making is a Mother's Day arrangement. It would be appropriate for any day, frankly. There's no bad day to get flowers. So, again, I'm going to work with my Oregonia and use it to create a little bit of structure in the vase before I start adding my florals. That's something that we teach in flower school. If you come to flower school and join us here in Portland, we teach a lot of different techniques, different ways to get to Seattle, as I like to tell people, different techniques for creating vase designs, for creating hand-tied designs. Still too long now. And gosh, you name it. We work with all the mechanics. We work foam free. We work with foam. We work with foam alternatives. We use some modern techniques and mechanics, and we use some tried and true historical techniques and mechanics. So right now I'm working with a tried and true foliage mechanic. Are we looking good, Ricky? Do you think we're on?
Looks like we're on. Everyone's saying that it sounds much better.
Yay! Okay.
It doesn't look like we're up on YouTube though. Not sure what happened there.
Okay, so if you're on
Facebook only.
Yeah, so if you are on YouTube, and you can't, well, if you're on YouTube, you can't hear us. Susie, you know the drill. If you would work your magic and let people know they can find us on Facebook today. Sorry for the false start, but you know, that's life. We were laughing somewhat hysterically during the moments we were off air trying to fix things, and said, leave it to Ricky and Michelle. Everyone's gone. It's like, oh, those two will be fine. They've done this a million times. Well, we didn't screw anything up. Just for the record, the computer gremlins are the ones that did it. Because if we were going to screw it up, we'd have done it royally, and we would not have come back on.
It'd be a much bigger production.
It would be a much bigger production, exactly right. All right, so I'm just working some Solal in with my Oregonia, trying to get a little bit of extension out of the vase and give myself a little bit of support. Let me slide this over just a little bit. There we go.
Wayne says that he hopes the aliens are not taking over.
I'm not going to address anything right now on camera because the last time I made a smart mouth comment, we went off the air because everything froze up. So, computers, I love you. You're the bestest. So, if you're joining us today, or those of you who are joining us today, I have some questions for you because I want to know how many of you are doing Mother's Day designs and you're just done for the day? How many of you are interested in floral design and found us by accident? And how many of you just stumbled on the wrong channel? So if you're actually preparing for Mother's Day and you're doing designs, but you're just done for the day, type done. If you're thinking about becoming a florist or a floral designer, entering the world of floristry, type flowers. And if you just got lost and you ended up here by accident, just type lost. And those of you that type lost, you better not be people I know. Oh, never a dull day. So what I have here is Israeli ruscus. It's a lovely foliage. I jokingly and lovingly call it the cockroach of the floral world, only because it lasts forever. You cannot kill this stuff. It's a wonderful foliage to buy in bulk because you can get a much better per stem price when you can buy it in large quantities. And it holds up extremely well in the cooler. With a little proper care and handling, which we teach you in flower school, you can make Israeli ruscus last for months, plural, in your flower cooler. So if you don't do a ton of business, but you want to be able to purchase more efficiently, this is a great foliage for that. If you do a ton of business, you're going to move it through quickly and it really isn't going to be an issue as far as that goes. So I have the rule of three different foliages. I have a lovely variegated that's really giving me some structure. I have salal, which is our dandelion in the Pacific Northwest. It just grows everywhere. And then I have a little bit of the Israeli ruscus. So I have lovely contrast in form, I have some contrast in texture, I have lovely texture, and I have some different shades, I should say some different colors of green, because shade is a color plus black, and you learn that in flower school. So my palette today, at least in my mad dash through the warehouse today, was purples. Purple isn't on the color wheel, as we know, but violets, shades of red violet, blue, maybe a hot pink. Not really sure. We'll see. But I'm going to start with, I think I'm going to start with some stock and some delphinium. Anything happening out there now that we're back live, Ricky?
Yeah, we've got Leanne's joining us already.
Oh, good.
And then some people are agreeing with you that Israeli ruscus is really versatile and lasts forever.
It is really one of my favorites. I don't think I have an unfavorite. I do, but not. I love grevillea. We don't have any in the classroom today. I love grevillea. You'll have to Google it. But it's a fantastic foliage. It makes me itch. I don't quite break out in hives necessarily, but I certainly do get a little uncomfortable, a little rashy. The one that gets me, and I will break out in hives and look like a 5-year-old took a red Sharpie marker to me, is hops. So that seems kind of odd here in the Pacific Northwest, the greater Portland area, which is known for its microbrews, that I can't use one of the main crops we seem to have growing around us. I love it. It has an unusual fragrance, we'll call it. I would say odor, as I don't find it to be terribly pleasing, but it has such a unique form to it, unique texture. The flowers on the hops are amazing. We use them quite a bit. Here and there. A lot of times people like them in personal flowers. They like them in boutonnieres. They kind of look like little tiny green pine cones, which is very cool, but I can't. I try and work with gloves on when I'm using it, and it doesn't work because I'll have the gloves on and I'm hot and I go like this, and then I get that little red line of dots. It's not pretty. Not pretty at all. Ricky, are you allergic to any flowers or foliage that you know of? A lot of people aren't until they're exposed to them.
Not that I know of. I don't think I have like any normal allergies.
Yeah, bees don't like me, and hops. The grevillea is just uncomfortable, and I'll still order it and still use it and work with it because it is just too dang pretty not to. And speaking of dang pretty, can you see those blue delphiniums? That color that you're seeing on camera is electric, and that's kind of what they look like here in the studio. We have had such amazingly beautiful product this spring. And our spring has been quite interesting here. The flowers aren't really quite sure what they're supposed to be doing at this point. When I was at market this morning, I visited with Chris. He's at one of our local wholesalers. And oh gosh, is Chris on here? Do you see him? Is he with us today?
I didn't see his name yet, but he could be. I kind of missed a good chunk in the middle
Sure.
there.
So Chris, if you're on here, please pop in and tell me what the name of that rose is, because I put it on my phone and then my phone is in the office. Extra dark excellence, dark extra. It's this one that's right over here. We will find it and add it in when we do the photos at a minimum. But anyhow, my point was we were visiting about the weather, as you know, old folks do, and talking about the fact that we're getting snow in our mountains right now. So our poor crops don't really know what the deal is. Yesterday in the valley here on the west side of the state, it was beautiful, it was sunny, but I had driven through the mountains earlier in the day and I came through snow. It was 30 some degrees and snowing. The poor plants, they're just so confused. We were talking about peonies this morning, and that right now the peonies that we're getting are, I don't want to say they're cut too soon, they're cut when they should be cut, but the weather is changing on a dime. Tomorrow it's supposed to be 75 or something like that, and today it's about 50, and then they're predicting 90 degrees for the weekend. I don't like that kind of a temperature change, so I'm pretty certain the flowers don't like that kind of a temperature change either. But we were talking about the fact that the peonies were not, they just weren't. They weren't ready yet, they weren't looking like they should, and we were talking about this fabulous rose that, and I got two different colored ones, good. So these are, hello, there we go. These are from the same bunch. It was a 12-stem bunch. They are garden roses, but they are considerably less expensive than a peony, and they will continue to open up. So if I'm holding that in my hand, you can see it's a pretty good size. He said they're going to continue to open up and be about hand-sized, and once open, they are a really good dupe for a coral charm or a coral sunset peony. So if you're trying to find that perfect color of something, this would be a fabulous one. Now, I'm gonna let you guys make a little choice here, because I could go either way. Oh my. Okay, so do we want to go with the Pink Floyd roses, so you can kind of see the pink in there, or do we want to go with the Dark Excellence roses? So say pink or coral. How's that? Ricky?
Leanne chimed in. She found the name on the invoice,
Oh,
and
good.
they are called Pink Dark Expression.
Expression, not excellence, expression, dark expression. And thank you, since I forgot. They really are spectacular. There's no fragrance. They just smell herbaceous, I would say. They smell like plant matter. They don't smell bad. They just don't have a strong garden rose fragrance like something like this, like Kira, or I grabbed all the sample ones out there because there were some pretty ones, or Juliet. Well, this one doesn't have a ton either. It's subtle. All right, do we have anybody chiming in on pink or coral?
We are about 50-50, almost exactly. They're still chiming in though, so there's still time. Oh, we got one more for coral than we do for pink.
Okay, we're going coral. on it. So how many people answered my first question as to why they're joining us today? Are they working florists and they're just done for the day? Did they find us, or are you listening to us? Are you still working, but you're just listening to me natter at you in your ear?
I'm looking.
Did anybody answer at all?
I know I saw a couple. I saw some people chime in there with the word flowers, which I believe
very good. That meant they are working, maybe not right at the moment. Let's see if I can find a nice straight one for the top.
And then
straight-ish. We'll take that.
I see a few people chiming in that they've got some orders going. It looks like Carl said that they were done for the year. Lori chimed in and said that she's got 67 orders right now for Mother's Day.
Wow. Hopefully, Lori, some of those took an early delivery option, so you're not having to work super late all the time.
And Anne is prepping while she's watching.
Very good. Well, glad that you all joined us today. Had a little bit of a little bumpy start to today's live, but you know what? It's fine. You're here, I'm here, the flowers are here. It's all good. We'll just take it. We will take it as it is. So this vase design, obviously, it's a water design, and I use the foliage to create my structure for the design. And my water, of course, has flower food in it, because we want to make sure that those flowers, didn't want to go there, fine. The flowers have the best possible chance of lasting a really long time for the customer. When you come to flower school, we always try to give you best practices. So a lot of our students come to us who don't know a tulip from a turnip, and that's okay. That's our job, to help you learn the different names of flowers, learn the different varieties, learn what's possible in the world of floral. But sometimes people come to us who have some experience, or they've been working in a flower shop, and they find that we do things a little differently than they've been doing them. Now, I'm not going to say that's wrong, because I'm just going to be general, but we do try to show you the best practices. What we show you are the industry standards, what the manufacturers of the products or the designers of the products intended for them, how to be used, whether that's flower care and handling, which encompasses your flower food, the bucket care, making sure your buckets are clean and scrubbed, making sure your work area is clean and scrubbed, things like that. So we really can take you from soup to nuts, if you will. You can come to us with zero experience and we'll get you up to speed. We always want to make sure that when you leave, you have the skills necessary to get a job in the industry. Ricky, what you got?
Yeah, I just wanted to give a shout out to Kim. She just came across her page and is liking the arrangements. And she's got a question that I believe we can throw out to the Tulip Bunch. She's wondering what the most requested arrangement for Mother's Day this year is.
Ooh, good question, Kim. So tulips, type it in, those of you that are working out there. What is your most requested type of arrangement for Mother's Day this year? I'm going to be excited to see what Teacher Jerry has going on. I know it's on the website, but you know, people always want what they can't have or what they think they want. And I'm sure we'll have some custom orders to do tomorrow and for the weekend. I'm kind of excited. I haven't freelanced with Teacher Jerry before. So for me, that'll be a good change of pace. Hopefully Jerry thinks it's a good change of pace. All right, oh, I think I want one more card in there. I thought these were just the most beautiful color today. They're that moon series of naturally occurring purple carnations. And on camera, this is reading almost black. In person, to the negative eye, to the natural eye rather, the face of the carnation petals is definitely a deep, deep red violet. There's a lot of black in there, which I think is kind of fun. It makes it a little moody, a little different. I know for holidays like Valentine's Day, pink and red are always popular. And for holidays like Mother's Day, we want the pinks and the purples and things like that. And I have purple, and I had pink as an option as well, but I just thought the coral gave it a little extra pop. And maybe this is something for an edgier mother. She likes purples and blues, but it's not a soft blue or a pale lavender. This is kind of a slappy upside the head one. Juicy and vibrant, kind of spoke to me at market. And now I think I had, yes. Look at that, isn't that fun? This is tinted, I will say it is tinted, but I just thought it spoke to me with the color, obviously, based on what I was looking at doing. And I just want something with a little bit of softness. Look at that, doesn't that just blend it all together, help unify the design? Those of you, Ricky's laughing at me. Those of you that have had flower school know that unity is an important what? What category does unity fall under? Tuck a little bit more of this in here. Some days my left hand is just for jewelry because I cannot get it to cooperate today. I typed an entire email while I was looking at something else and looked down and realized I was off by one key on the keyboard and it looked like Klingon. It made absolutely no sense. I had to start over. It was quite annoying. And apparently that stem did not like me, so we'll pick a different one. Anybody chime in with unity? What it is?
The only response I see so far is not elements.
Correct. If it's not an element, then it's a blank. It's a principle. So what I'm using this tinted status for is to help unify my design, help bring all the elements together to make it feel cohesive. And it also helps me get all of my flower forms in there. Now let me look at that. I may not have them all. I have line flowers with the delphinium and the slightly curved stalk. I have mass flowers with the carnations and the roses. I have filler flowers since I've put in the status. What am I missing? What's the flower type that I'm missing? And I don't have any of them to add to this, but just curious.
What was the name of that flower, Michelle?
This?
Yes.
This is a tinted status. I would say it's not quite German status. Some people might call it Caspia. It is really quite lovely, and nicely enough, the top of it is where it's tinted, not the, how do I want to describe this? It's not stem dyed, meaning that the stem wasn't placed in the dye where it drew it up into the stem. Just the top portion, I don't think it'll show on camera, but it's been dip dyed perhaps, where the flowers have been dipped down into the color itself. The thing I like about that is my stems don't have dye in them or on them, because in a clear vase arrangement, sometimes when you put a tinted foliage into the water, that color transfers into the water, and it can not be a look that you're after depending on the color of the tint. I know in the fall we get a lot of wax flower and some other things that are tinted golds and reds and oranges, which is beautiful on the flower, but when it gets into the water, it just looks kind of like mud in there. Now, having said that, I think purple water could be kind of cool, but it's not going to turn purple today, at least I hope not. All right, well, I feel like that's enough for the moment. You guys like that one? Does that look cheerful and happy, like somebody's mom or mother figure might enjoy it? Too bad you're not here, Leanne. Might have to go home with me tomorrow. Oh wait, I won't be here tomorrow. I'm working tomorrow. Darn it! Oh well, that's fine. I guess Ricky will have pretty flowers to take home with her.
I'll have all the pretty flowers.
All the pretty flowers. I scoop this one out of the way. So kind of an interesting thought I just want to toss out to all you tulips, since we're just friends here. It's Mother's Day, I get that, but not all of us have our mothers with us anymore, right? I thought a group that I work with did something kind of fun. They used to do a Mother's Day tea, and they promoted it, I guess I would say, as a mother-daughter tea, which I thought was quite lovely for Mother's Day. But then I thought, well, that's good. I'm a mother, I'm a daughter. Sweet, works well. Well, not anymore. I'm still a daughter, I'm not a mother, and I don't have my mother with me. But the group changed the name of the tea to the all-daughter tea, because every woman is a daughter, even if they're not a mother. And I thought, that's quite lovely, very inclusive, very friendly. Now, don't take this out of context. I'm not promoting that we changed Mother's Day to All Daughter Day. Maybe I am. But what I thought was cool is I shared this with one of my friends who's in a different state. And we were talking about it. I'm wearing all the things today. And she said, you know, I've always done a mommy-daughter take and make. And she was going to change it to an all-daughter take and make, because she said that way, just because you didn't have a daughter doesn't mean you couldn't come, take a fun little workshop, and just do it for yourself. And I thought, okay, I like that. That's kind of brilliant. You're getting the best of both worlds, right? You're still promoting flowers, that flower feeling, right? Remember, Yost was here a couple weeks ago. But you're making it a little more inclusive. So I just thought I'd share that. Let me know what your thoughts are. I'm not going to set the world on fire with it, but I just thought, well, you know, you guys are a wonderful hive mind of information and feedback, and I thought, I'll just share it with the tulips. So the first one was very traditional. This one is going to be a little different. Jim, you'll be glad to know. Is Jim with us today?
Yes.
Excellent. Jim. No glitter.
Maybe.
I almost put some glittered foliage in. We have a little bit left over here, you know, and I might when we get off camera. But no glitter.
Moms love glitter.
Moms love glitter. You are so correct. So the first one was just a very classic vase design. The only difference was I went with a little bolder color than you might normally see. And so this one I want to do something just a little bit different. So I'm just wrapping my wires because one, no naked wires ever. And two, I want it to blend in a little bit better. Got stuff in my beautiful black foam. There we go. I wanted it to blend in a little bit better with my foam. So I'm just covering the wire with, this is actually brown, now that I see it in better light. I thought it was black, but it's going to be just fine. It goes along with today. Everything's just a little off, so it'll be just fine. But I wanted to just do something a little different. Maybe for the mom or the mom at heart or the daughter that wanted to give themselves flowers. So did we have an answer to Kim's question from earlier of what the most common or most popular arrangements are that people are seeing this Mother's Day?
Yeah, the few answers that I saw were mixed arrangements
Okay.
with a mixture of both pastels and bold colors and lots of roses.
Okay, good. That's nothing unexpected. Are a lot of you seeing orchids or peonies in your arrangements? Are you doing an upsell of anything like that? Or can you even get them? Like I just talked about, the peonies are fairly non-existent at this point. So this is going to be kind of a minimalist design. Well, it might be minimalist on camera, and then I'll finish it off. We're a little protracted on our time today just because of the technical difficulties. But what I have here is variegated ribbon grass. And what I want to do is get rid of those ugly stem ends. And then I've softened it by running it through my hands a little bit. And I'm just going to work it into a loop, like so. I have 3 strands. You could do 5, you could do whatever the spirit moves you. I'm going to stagger them a little bit, just because I think it looks more interesting. And then I'm going to take that taped wire, almost like I'm doing a bow, right? And I'm going to run it over those pieces of grass and twist it like a bread tie so that I have secured it like so. Oh, that one's got a little crimp in him. Darn it. Darn it, darn it, darn it. Let's see if we can make that look a little better. There we go. And then I'm going to retrim those cut ends so they're nice and tidy. And what I'm going to do is cut those remaining stems a little bit shorter. Don't know if you can see that. They're 1.5 inches, 2 inches. And then I'm going to smooth out the top of my foam. What I have here is the Midnight Oasis foam, and you may or may not know this, but if you give it a little rub, a little massage, you can smooth out all the little bumps and seams in the foam where you have put multiple pieces together. So this was 1 brick of foam that I cut in half horizontally and then placed it in and then used my little bits that hung over to fill in my gaps. So what I'm doing here is, not short enough, darn it. So go with 1 inch or less, and since I need to hide that, it's going right back where it came from. And I'm just going to add that little fellow in there. And I'm going to do that, a couple times. And give myself just some interesting movement, some interesting texture across the top here. When you come to flower school, we cover a lot, and I'm going to say this, and those of you that have had me in class in person, you know this, because I tell you that very first morning, buckle up, Buttercup, because we cover a lot of information in this course, a lot of information, and I say it like 3 times, and I usually get the eye roll from somebody in the back like, we heard you. But come Monday of the 2nd week of class, inevitably somebody comes in the morning and says, oh my gosh, last week you told us we covered a lot of information, and I know I rolled my eyes at you when you said it like 5 times, but holy cow, you cover a lot of information. It's like, I know we do. But like I said, we want to show you best practices when it comes to different things that we do. We want to expose you to a myriad of design styles, of design materials. We want you to learn the history of floral design. You can go to a workshop and you can pick up a technique or 2 if you're lucky and, muddle your way through it. But I believe that you kind of have to know where you came from to know where you're going. Think about that one for a minute. And what we do at school is also give you history. We give you theory. So we don't just tell you, do it this way because I told you to. We tell you, do it this way because of X. We give you that why. And a lot of a lot of places you're not gonna find that. You're not gonna find that level of depth. You may not find the variety of teachers in other schools that we offer. I know Leanne has some fun things up her sleeve. I'm not gonna steal her thunder, but stay tuned in the coming weeks. We've got things shaking, moving and shaking here at school. Stuff's changing. We are not stagnant. We change with the times. We stay popular. We stay up to date. I don't know if you guys are digging this because you don't really know where I'm headed with it, but I'm liking it so far. Ricky, do we have any first timers? I totally forgot to ask. Kim was a first timer, I believe.
Yeah.
But anybody else chiming in from YouTube? No, we're not on YouTube, right?
Nope. Just on Facebook
Just
today.
on Facebook, all right.
Apart from Kim, I haven't seen anyone else chime in as a first timer, but if you are, feel free to let us know.
Yes, we love our first timers. Our tulips are a friendly bunch. We love to make people feel welcome. Trying to get down closer to those tips. Apparently I'm having technical difficulties today. It's not just the computer that's having issues today, it's teacher Michelle. There we go. All right. Close enough for government work. We're rolling on with that one. So we have coming up in a couple weeks our Designing for Competition and Evaluation course. I believe we are sold out. If Leanne's still on, she can chime in on that, but I believe we are sold out on that class for this year. We only offer it once a year, but it's offered in preparation for anyone getting into the summer competition circuit or anyone, I want one more, but I'm gonna move on so you can at least see where I'm headed. Anyone in the competition circuit, anyone hoping to take the American Institute of Floral Designers Professional Floral Design Evaluation, which is a very intense 4-hour exam, hands-on design exam that helps you achieve your CFD status or your AIFD. So CFD is Certified Floral Designer, and that is a certification. And if you are a tulip that has completed our basic and our advanced program, you are qualified to take the CFD online exam and become a certified floral designer. Yes, Vicki.
So Leanne chimed in, and we have 2 spots left in the Designing for Competition class.
Okay, excellent.
And then I wanted to give a shout out to Joanne, who is joining us for the first time today.
Excellent. Well, Joanne, welcome. Tulips, tell Joanne howdy from all of us in the Tulip Bunch. Like I said, we're a fun group. We have a private Facebook group called the Tulip Bunch for our current students and our graduates of the Floral Design Institute. So if you decide you want to join us at Flower School, you get to become a member of that group too. And Leanne said we have 2 spots available in that Designing for Comp class. So you can check that out online if you are interested in it. It is a wonderful course. Honestly, it's a wonderful course, even if you don't think you want to test for your AIFD accreditation or do any kind of competition work either. It's a great class for techniques and learning to push yourself. And we have, I'm changing my mind midstream because my brain is moving faster than my hands are. It's the last class that we have in person until the fall. And when we get to the fall, we start with our regular professional courses, our basic floral design and our advanced floral design classes. I believe September, do you have those dates, Ricky? Is it September 16th for basic?
Yes, September 16th.
Perfect, thank you. September 16th, we start with our basic floral design course again in person. You can start the online course at any time. If you want to get started now, heck, I'll be off the air in a few minutes and we can get you set up in a new student portfolio, and you could be learning about the wonderful world of floristry in just a little bit of time. But we are gearing up with planning for the fall classes, doing a little parallel placement here with these Veronica. These were just too fun to pass up at market. But that basic class in person is 3 weeks long. It is a lot of information because you heard me say that, but it is fantastic. It is Monday through Friday, 8:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. or 4:45, somewhere in there. And it's a really great class. If you are at all considering entering the world of floral design, I strongly encourage you to check out the website, check out the classes. If you go to the classes tab at the top and scroll down, after you click, you'll see the in-person class information and everything you could possibly want to know. I can't get this quite the right height. Everything you possibly want to know is there. And if it's not, pick up the phone and give us a call. Shoot us an email, whatever works best for you. Somebody here at school, Leanne, myself, Ricky, Dove, somebody's going to have the answer for you and be able to give you some more information. We love it when you ask questions because that tells us that you're interested and you're excited about learning the wonderful art of floral design. So I have a few more things to add to this. Let's see. I was going to put the baby's breath in initially, and I kind of might. I changed my mind initially, and now I'm coming back to it. It's a woman's prerogative to change her mind, and that is what I'm doing. I had my mind made up when I started today, and then I've changed it twice since I got up here, and now I'm changing it back. I love these giant fluffy heads on this. We actually have two varieties, it looks like. One that's a smaller, more delicate, and one that's a little bit larger. And I just love it. I was looking for snips, I don't see any. And I just want to add some little tufts of the baby's breath in there. Just a little different form, just to change things up a little bit, because, you know, gotta keep it interesting and real. Well, as I finish this out, I want to thank those of you that stayed with us today during the fun technical difficulties. And if you are new, even if you didn't chime in and say hello, maybe you're just listening, or maybe you're catching this on replay down the road, take a look at the website, take a look at the classes that we offer, either in person or online. I'm sure Caledonia and Susie have put in some wonderful links there. Excuse me. If you have questions about things, if the website doesn't answer all your questions, give us a call. You know, we're really not that scary. And we would love to talk to you about coming to flower school. Just before I came on, I actually talked with a local gal about the possibility of coming to the in-person class, and she was concerned she wouldn't be able to get time off from work. And I said, no problem. You could do a hybrid learning situation. You could take the basic class online, do it at your own speed, do it over the summer, in fact, if you wanted, and then come join us for 1 week in the fall, in person. Get some hands-on experience, meet some new flower friends, and she thought that was a really great idea. So I'm going to add a few more little bits to this little design here. I hope you all have a wonderful Mother's Day. Those of you that are still working, good luck for the next couple days. Remember self-care, take care of yourself as well, and do something you love. Bye guys.